strategize together. Let's hear it from an expert. Join the conversation, it's informative and free. You and me, let's talk some strategy. Now here's your host, Dorien Morin-van.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Strategy Talks. I'm here today with a fellow Dutch woman. Mieke will come on in just a minute. Before I introduce her and bring her up on screen, I want to say welcome to everybody who is here live with us. We appreciate you. Let us know where you're joining us from. If you're in the US or the Netherlands or somewhere else, we'd love to know. And I also want to welcome those of you who will watch this on the replay. Put hashtag replay in the comments so we see that and we can answer any additional questions you have. Last but not least, I want to do a shout out to our podcast listeners. I know you're here listening as well, and thank you so much for downloading or listening to this episode. We are going to talk about LinkedIn pages. I'm so excited to have with me here a LinkedIn expert, and we're talking about not just your profile, but LinkedIn pages. Before I do, a big shout out to our sponsor. Social Insider is a weekly sponsor to Strategy Talks. They are the intuitive dashboard for social media analytics, reporting, and competitors analysis for brands and agencies. So thank you to Social Insider who are sponsoring this show each and every week. And without much further ado, here is the guest of the week, Mieke Langehuizen. Welcome, Mieke.
Hello, Dorien.
So glad to have you here. It's awesome. I see Miklos is here from Hungary and Joe is here from Troy, Ohio, home of the Troy Strawberry Festival this weekend. That sounds amazing, Joe. That sounds like some awesome, I guess it's strawberry season in Ohio already. That's really fantastic. Mieke, what's going on in your neck of the woods?
Well, we have also parties in the Netherlands, but strawberry parties seems a very good one.
Absolutely. So we're going to talk about LinkedIn pages. And for those of you who don't know Mieke, let me tell you a little bit about Mieke. She is a LinkedIn trainer and speaker in the Netherlands. LinkedIn is by far the most interesting platform for generating leads, especially in B2B. Every year, Mieke visits Social Media Marketing World in San Diego, USA, and that is where we met back in March. So it was wonderful. There's somebody else from Louisiana here as well. So wonderful. We've got people here wanting to know the scoop on LinkedIn pages. Mieke, before we talk about LinkedIn specifically, I just want to ask you, how did you get to be a LinkedIn expert? What drew you to LinkedIn and how did you get there?
Well, there's only one good question. Just do it.
Okay. So you started working on LinkedIn and that's how you became the expert.
Just do it and find out. Spend a lot of hours on it and get an expert on it. Yes.
Okay. All right. Awesome. So we're going to talk pages specifically. We've had on Strategy Talks, we've had an expert talk about personal profiles. We've had expert talk about other aspects of LinkedIn, but we've not had anybody on talk about LinkedIn pages. And that's why I invited you on here. So why is a company page important? Let's just get to the heart of the matter. Why is a company page important?
Well, a company page is very important because you can let people know the name of your company, that you have a company. When people visit your personal profile, you can have the icon of your company page underneath the cover image. If you don't have a company page, then LinkedIn probably make a company page and then you get a gray icon. And that doesn't look professional.
Okay, so that's a really great tip. So if you don't have a page and you don't create that LinkedIn page and upload your logo, your company logo, by default, there is a gray logo. So say my company is Morin Media and I don't create that LinkedIn page, it's going to be a gray thing that says Morin Media and it doesn't link anywhere. But if I create the page, it links to hyperlinks to Morin Media. I've got my little logo there, and then people can find out more about my company.
Yes,
that's correct.
Exactly. Yes, exactly.
So that's the first reason people should have a company page. What is another good reason?
Another one is other people will tag your company page in their post, for example, but they don't always look if there is a good company page. So if you have a great company page, they will tag the great company page. And that's a pity because it leads to nothing. So you have to get your own company page. Yes.
All right. That's great. Those are two great reasons to create a page. So is there anybody who should not? Say you're a solopreneur, right? And, full disclosure, guys, I had a company page for years for Morin Media. I'm a solopreneur. About 4 or 5 years ago, I wasn't getting any traction. I deleted it.
Mm-hmm.
And then I had a conversation with Mika, and Mika gave me these two reasons and said, Doreen, make a company page. So I made a new Morin Media company page. So now when you go to my profile, you can click through to Morin Media. Because of Mika, I did that. But for years, LinkedIn didn't really provide much on there.
No,
but there's some cool things now that are happening with pages. So let's move right into that. What's happening with LinkedIn pages? Because there's more than just hyperlinking. There's some cool new features that are available to LinkedIn pages, and we should take full advantage of it.
Yes, exactly. Well, first of all, you can have several roles like a super admin, a content admin, or an analyst on your business profile. You can work together. Well, your question about the new features is you can invite to 250 people to follow your company page each month. But if you have several persons who help you with the company page, all of them together can invite 250 people. But for example, you, Doreen, have very important, special connections on your personal profile, and me too. But if we combine them, because we work at the same company, we have more important people who can follow.
So it's a larger audience. Say I have I work with somebody who works and helps me with my strategy. She's now part of my page. She can also invite her connections, her audience to like my page. So that's a really good point. So it's not just you as a manager, but everybody who works for the company. So you invite the best possible people.
I always compare it to the M&Ms. If you like the blue ones the most, and they are the most important ones, just pick them out.
And that's a good way to start. And then so once you have all the blue ones and you eat all the blue M&Ms, then maybe your next favorite is your greens. You go invite your greens. But exactly. You get 250 a month, 250 people a month to invite to like your page. Now, the caveat there is, since I just created my page, for those of you who are going to create a page, the first month, or I guess until you have a certain number, I could only invite 100. But that's still a lot of people. So once you get past a certain point, you can invite 250 people. So that's a great feature. And that's a pretty new feature. So that wasn't available. And again, one of the reasons why I deleted my page. Yeah. So what else is new? What else is a good strategy for LinkedIn pages? And I love this, by the way. I think we forget that we can work together. And it's kind of like Facebook, right? Where you can work together with different people and have different roles. But I think a lot of people forget that on LinkedIn pages, that within the company, they can work together.
Yes, and new features, not always everyone knows about the new features. So you definitely got to follow LinkedIn experts to keep up with the new features. Well, also, but that's also on a personal profile, good content. Good content always leads to more exposure. Yes.
All right. So the question I'm going to ask. What is the strategy to have for good content? What works on LinkedIn pages?
On on LinkedIn pages, best posts work with kind of personal posts, behind the scenes, good content with a lot of knowledge, and not always the same content, but make a mix of it. Yeah.
Okay.
But
All right.
pictures of people always work.
What did you say? Pictures with people?
Yes, always works.
Oh, that's a really good one. So if you're listening, LinkedIn pages, the kind of content, good content, pictures with people, vary the content, educational content. Is there anything you should not post on your LinkedIn page that you might consider posting on your personal profile on LinkedIn? Is there anything taboo, like that doesn't belong on a page, or have you not
A
found
lot of
anything?
private stuff, I don't do that.
Yeah.
Or always selling, pushing your product, push, don't do that.
Okay. Very good advice. Very good advice. So, how about growing that company page? Any strategies? You talked about inviting people. What other strategies can people use to grow their page?
Well, two tips. You can mention your own company page in your own posts. You saw me doing that, Doreen.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
And if you have a creative profile, then it's possible to have a link all the way up on your profile. You can post a link to your website, but you can also post a link to your company page.
That's really smart. So that's a brand new feature on a personal profile on LinkedIn. There is a clickable link now in your profile. And of course, a lot of us want people to go to a landing page, but you're saying you can also use that to put the URL of your LinkedIn page in. So then your LinkedIn page is right there. The first tip you gave, which I love, and you and I have talked before and you've shown me how to do that, is that you've, in essence, created a email signature, but it's a LinkedIn signature.
Yes.
So, and for your LinkedIn signature, and I'm going to put on the right here on, for those of you who are watching this, there's Mika's profile. So if you see any post by Mika, I encourage you to go follow her, ring her bell. But she has, it's almost like an email signature, but she has an event coming up, a LinkedIn local event that's on there. Then she's tagged her own page, and then she talks about what she does, right? There's a hashtag, I think. And so most of your posts, Mika, you will have your post, you'll put a little line, and then
Yes.
you have that LinkedIn signature, so people know more about you and can connect with you. I think that's a really great tip. Would you recommend doing that on a LinkedIn page as well? A signature or not?
Yes, it's also possible. Yes, exactly. Because if you have salespeople rely to that post, you can tag the people. Are you interested? You can also send a DM to, and then tag the salespeople. Yes.
Okay, so a LinkedIn signature on a LinkedIn page might be, schedule a meeting or chat with us or connect with us or come to our event or something like that. So I love that. I think that's a really great tip that you just shared. So you can tag what did you say? You can put your link. Yeah, back and forth, basically, right? Use your profile to highlight your page. Use your page to highlight your profile. I love that.
3.
Yes. Okay, so how to get the traffic? So the next question is, how do you get traffic then from your personal page to your LinkedIn page? We kind of mentioned that. You said, you can tag your page in your post, and you can put it on the top of your profile with that link. Is there anything else that you can do that you can people to your page?
Yes, post exclusive content on your company page, and post on your profile content. If you want to read more, go to the company page. That's exclusive post.
Oh, I love that. That's smart. Yeah, of course. That makes a lot of sense. So the last big question that I have is how to get better found on your personal profile, because the personal profile is tied to a page. You say you have a company with 5 people. Everybody in that company should be active on LinkedIn because you all have admin to the page. But how do you get that personal profile better found? I know we're talking about pages, but I think it's going to really help people's pages be found if the personal profile is found.
Yes, exactly. Well, with a good headline, with keywords, you definitely will get better found, because LinkedIn is just like Google, also a search engine. LinkedIn needs the keywords to know in what business you're in. So keywords are very important in your headline, and also again with good content.
So the same keywords that you put in your headline, you should also have in your content.
Yes, also in your content, because if you use the search bar, for example, you need a plumber, and you type in a plumber, LinkedIn is going to search for that. If
In the
it's
headline, in your headline, it's there.
Yes.
So here's it's interesting. So my company is all about doing social media strategy. So of course I have a show called Strategy Talk. So strategy is one of my keywords. It makes sense. Now, and I don't know if who is watching or you who's listening has ever done this, but Mika just said something that I want to point out. It was a really, really good tip. Google is actually indexing your LinkedIn profile.
Yes.
So, and if you kind of like, you said it and then we kind of went on, but if you've never Googled yourself, go in incognito and Google yourself. Often your LinkedIn profile is higher than your website, unless you're paying for SEO on your website. So if you want to be found, LinkedIn is one of the first profiles that I tell people. If you want to be found online for who you are, your personal brand, make sure that you put all the right keywords in the header on LinkedIn, because Google indexes that. And it's up to you to tell Google what you want to be known for, correct?
Yes, totally correct, Doreen.
Yeah. And that's something that a lot of people don't know, that
No.
all your profiles get indexed by Google,
Yeah.
but LinkedIn has always been at the top for me.
Yes, and be sure that your profile picture is public.
Okay, that's
Also
another
very
good one.
important.
Yeah. Okay, very, very good. Well, this has been really great information. You know, this show is short. I love all the tips, very actionable tips. If you do not have a LinkedIn page, create one so you can tag it. People can know more about you. Create that email signature. Put the link in your profile right underneath your profile picture. You can either make it go to a landing page or make it go to your LinkedIn page. Invite people to like your page, 100 or 250, depending on if your page is new or not. Create a LinkedIn newsletter. You can create one for your personal profile, but also one for LinkedIn pages. Work together with your team to get more people to your pages. All these wonderful strategies. No more. Connect with Mika. I'm going to put up her profile link once more on the screen. If you're watching this live or on the replay, connect with Mika Langehuizen. Mika, I've got a rapid fire.
I got one last tip, Doreen.
Yes, please do. Please do. Go ahead.
If you are on your company page, take a look at the left side, because you can generate a lead gen form. It's just rolled out a few weeks ago. Take a look at it. It's very simple to implement.
Yeah.
Just do it and start your generating leads.
That's wonderful. I haven't seen that yet either. That's a great tip. So go check that out. So rapid fire round, 3 questions, quick answers. Mika, start work late or leave work early?
Leave work early.
All right. Video meetings or in-person meetings?
In person.
Okay. Education or experience?
Experience.
Okay, awesome. I love that. Thank you so much for being my guest right here on Strategy Talks. Mika's LinkedIn profile is up there. If you want to learn more about LinkedIn at all, or LinkedIn pages specifically, connect with Mika. This was a great conversation. Somebody just said lead generator form, fantastic. That's like, you saved the best for last, Mika. That's awesome. That's really great information. Joe says, thank you for all the valuable LinkedIn page info. This was wonderful. If you're listening to this as a podcast, I appreciate you staying all the way to the end. The best was saved for last, for sure. Connect with Mika Langenhuizen on LinkedIn and learn more about LinkedIn pages. I'll be back next week with another episode of Strategy Talks. Mika, is there anything else you want to say to our audience?
Well, thank you very, very much for listening and watching.
Wonderful. Thank you. And bye, everybody. We'll see you soon.